today we want to talk to you guys about 1 Samuel 9, which is what we learned today. And it's kind of talking about how Samuel was hearing the voice of God, and God had told him about Saul. And if you read the chapter, you'll know that Saul is becoming king. And so what we got from this chapter was that we need to trust God because God knows everything that's going to happen. Because God was speaking to Samuel and telling him what to do, that Saul was going to come see him and exactly what he needs to tell Saul and everything.
So God told Samuel that before Saul even got there.
Before Saul got there.
Because remind them, Samuel was a what?
Samuel was a prophet.
And a seer.
Yeah. And so he was hearing the voice of God. God was telling him everything. And before Saul even knew about Samuel, God spoke to him and was like, okay, there's a young man who's going to come to you, and you're going to tell him these words. You're going to speak to him. And what we got from it was that all we have to do is trust God, because God knows everything about you. He knows everything about me. He knows everything that's going to happen in our lives. So we can trust God with everything.
God knows what's going to happen from the beginning to the end, guys. He created us. He knows what's going to happen. And a lot of times as Christians, we get scared because we try to do things in our own because we're scared of what's going to happen to us. We're scared about the future. When a lot of times we just have to understand that God created us from the end to the beginning. So he knows what's going to happen already. He already created us. It's up to us on whether or not we're going to trust him or not.
Yeah.
And that, like, if you have God, then you're gonna be. If you have God, then you could be super powerful, and like you have a lot of wisdom and knowledge and confidence.
How do you get that out of Samuel chapter 9?
Because Samuel was very like confident, and he like really trusted the Lord. So like we can apply that to our own lives. And like,
How do you know he trusted the Lord? Just by reading chapter 9.
Because how they said he like spoke, and how God just talks to him and he just listens. It shows like his like honor and his loyalty to God, and it shows like how he trusts in God. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so like what I got from it is that like no matter what, like God like knows like what's gonna happen. So like he told Samuel that Saul is gonna come and be king. And like no matter what, like God will always know that whatever will happen in life. So like when Samuel came, when Saul came, Samuel was like telling him that God told me to bring you here, and he's just telling him like tomorrow we'll talk about it. You ask me all the questions you need, because he already knew like what's gonna happen, because God told him what was gonna happen that time.
What about the part? Let's talk about how, although the children of Israel, the chapter before that, God told Samuel, like, these people don't listen. They want to do their own thing. They want to serve other idols. They don't want to listen to you, Samuel. But what are we learning about from these chapters about God's personality?
He gives you what you want.
Oh yeah, because he said, because they said they wanted a king. God is like, give them what they want then.
They don't even know what's coming for them.
Yeah, and it's the way like.
But then in chapter 9, we learn what about God's character?
We learned that even when we ask God for things and we get what we want, and it might not be what we want, it might be like consequences to it. God is still a good and faithful God, because they were complaining, Lord, God, okay, we want a king. We don't want to listen to God anymore. We want a king. God gave them what they want, and in that, they should have got something that was not so good. But God is so loving that he gave them a good king. And he was like, I hear the cry of my people. And because I love you and because you are my people, I'm going to provide for you. I'm going to still love you. And I'm going to give you this good king who is full of wisdom. And that's how God is. That's his character. Even when we make a mistake and we might not trust him, God is still like, okay, you might not trust me, but I'm still gonna love you, and I'm still gonna provide for you because you're my people and I love you.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Yeah. So.
Yep. So that's what we got.
Yeah, guys.
1 Samuel verse 9.
Chapter 9.
Chapter 9. Oh yeah, chapter 9.
Yeah.
1 Samuel chapter 9. So read it for yourself and let us know in the comments what you guys got from it, what you got out of it. Yeah. And which verse is your favorite out of that chapter. So,
And remember to trust God.
Yes,
Every
remember
day.
to trust
You don't have to do anything
matter
on your
what.
own. Just trust God.
trust
Yes.
God. Yeah, trust His words. He's a trustworthy God. You can trust Him with anything.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Love you guys.
Love you guys. Thanks for watching.
Peace.
Peace.